All right, in preparing for the elevation drawings, I've been working on the brick seals and surrounds around the windows and came up with a fairly decent way of representing these. One thing I tried in the past, a few weeks ago, to get this sill the way it really is built, I had to modify the window. And just like we did last semester in adding trim to the window, I went in and added an extrusion to the window and applied a brick pattern to it and stuff. But you would have to edit every window to do that. And I guess if uh, if I were designing a lot of homes that had brick sills and surrounds, then yeah, I would modify my windows. But this is a one-shot deal, so we're going to do it the quick and easy way, huh? Okay, so what I did, I started with the bottom, and I honestly, I find it easier to do it in an elevation drawing. Okay, but I'll show it to you there. I'll pop over to my elevation. And I started with this one, and I just did a component model in place, and I sketched, I picked lines for the bottom edge of the window and the left edge and the right edge of the window. And then I did an offset of 3 5/8, I think it was, which is thickness of the brick. Somewhere between 3 5/8 and 4 inches of work. Okay. And these at the bottom, the sill, I extruded them out 1 inch. Okay. And I applied a material type of brick soldier course. Yes. Um, which is a stock. It's in there in Revit. So I just brought it in, brick soldier course. Okay. And applied it. Okay. And then I finished it. All right. So that was the sill here. It sticks out like a half. I got it sticking out a half of an inch. For the ones going up the sides, I pretty much did the same thing, and I did these both in one component. Okay, I sketched both sides of it. Okay, and but this one I did a little bit differently because I wanted this pattern when we're in hidden line mode or even shaded mode, it works okay. Uh, and what I did is I created a new material and I called it brick stacked. I just copied my soldier course, duplicated it, created a new one, called it brick stacked, and I edited the pattern, the surface pattern. I created a new surface pattern, and you do that. You go new fill pattern, and I gave it a name, brick stacked, I think. Yeah, I called it brick stacked, and I made lines at 0 degrees, and I made the lines at 2.67 inches, which is about the thickness of a brick, and okayed out of that, and it just gives me a bunch of parallel lines. And so I applied that to my new material type. I cannot, um, I mean, this comes from the soldier course, and I can't come up with a good way of editing the graphics for the appearance on these. Okay, and then I drew the rectangles, same thing, 3 5/8 thick this way, and then whatever the height of the window is. And I extruded these a half inch out. Okay, the sill sticks out further. These come a half inch out from the wall. Okay, and then I pretty much did the same thing at the top, except for with this one, I made the height of it 7 5/8, which is the length of a brick, extruded it out a half of an inch, and I just kept the brick soldier course um, material type and graphic. I didn't change those in any way. Okay. And the keystone at the top, I did another model of it. But this one, I started my extrusion. I picked the surface of the brick header, and I've got it going a ½ inch in and a ½ inch out. So it's a total thickness of 1 inch. If you do it off the wall, it's 1 inch. I would recommend doing it off of the brick header that you've already created. That way, when you copy and move them, it moves with it. Okay. I made it 1 brick wide at the bottom. I want to say 10 inches tall. Let's see. Okay, 9 1/8. Made it 9 1/8 tall. Made it 1.5 inches larger than this, I think. Okay, and so I copied this line up, projected it, and made the top of it 3 bricks wide, and then just tapered it and trimmed it out. Okay, so in a section view, here's what it looks like here in section view. So there's the key and the brick header, the jambs on either side, and the sill at the bottom. Not the best looking kind of a deal, but we're not going to be doing, we're not going to be placing, any sections through the windows, but it gives us a good representation on our prints here. Okay, realistic mode, it looks weird because I don't want to go into the trouble of editing these JPEG graphic images to correct that, and I spent a little bit on it, and it just got to be the point where I didn't feel like messing with it. Okay, so you can create that, and then you can copy them over to another window, and I'll show you how to do that up here. So I'm going to copy the bottom first, so I'll go copy, and I just pick a base point. Doesn't matter, just pick a base point, drag it up here and drop it. Okay, now we got to go edit in place and select it, and we want to pick a new host. And so you want to pick that wall surface, and now you can kind of, you just pick it and put it on the wall. And now while you're in edit mode, you want to move. And you just got to kind of watch your snaps there. And you get it in place, and you can drag the end out. And there you go. That's how you copy them. When you get ready to go around the building to place the headers over the garage doors and the sill under the window here, you can copy from here. And what you're doing is you're just pulling it out away from the building. And then you're going to go edit in place. And you see it pops it right back out parallel with where you had it. When you select it and you go pick new, now you can pick a new wall to put it on. And it's on that wall, and now you just have to move it and line it up. Okay, so now let's talk about down on this wall, we got an arched brick. We cannot apply a material finish to an arched extrusion because it just doesn't work right. So this one was available on Revit City. It's called a curved brick lintel, and you pull it in. It's a component, and it's a wall-based component, so you do it in a elevation view. Okay, so you drop it in place. You can, I wouldn't worry about getting your height right. This thing works off of the width of your window based on full bricks over the width of the window, and then what's called a spring height, which is the difference between the top of the arc and the bottom of the corner. And so what you want to do is you want to measure that on this particular window. And I measure it to the top of the brick. 11 3/32. I want to say I used 10 inches on it, but I don't remember. Anyway, you get a measurement, Then you go into edit type